Так, народ, мы начинаем. Успокаивайтесь. Я единственное, что все будет вести ICU. Я такой же зритель, как и многие здесь. Единственное, что я призываю первый курс активно участвовать, слушать и задавать вопросы по окончанию презентации. Хорошо?
So today, dear guests and members, we're happy to see you all on our annual PR conference, which is the Public Relations as a Brand Awareness Year, which is held in our People's Friendship University of Russia and Institute of Foreign Languages. So welcome to you all. And today we will hear reports dedicated to PR campaigns and products promotion. I hope you will like all the presentations and you will be active members of the conference. So, Salif Bagavdinovich, are you here? Салев, вы нас слышите? Салев, вы здесь? Здравствуйте.
Салев русскоговорящий?
У него на русском тема, да.
А вы проверяли?
Ну, сейчас Александр Александрович проверял.
Ну, до этого. Сейчас.
Добрый день, меня слышно?
Да, здравствуйте. А вы нас слышите?
Да, слышу.
Отлично. So the first presentation will be presented by Aliyev Salif Bagavdinovich with the topic «Эффективность применения ивент-маркетинга в продвижении туристических брендов в России». Вам будет удобно сделать демонстрацию экрана?
Да, будет удобно.
Все отлично.
Видно?
Да, все видно.
Отлично, я могу начинать, правильно?
Да.
Язык конференции, правильно понимаю, что в том числе и русский?
Да.
Все, отлично. Добрый день, уважаемые коллеги, добрый день, уважаемые члены комиссии. Я готов представить вам мою научную статью с темой «Эффективность применения ивент-маркетинга в продвижении туристических брендов в России». Ни для кого не секрет, что в последние годы зарубежные дестинации для российских туристов становятся менее доступными, и это действительно является большим потенциалом для развития внутреннего туризма и для развития туризма в регионах России, которые имеют большой потенциал. В чем и заключается, собственно, актуальность моего исследования и актуальность научной статьи. Цель научной статьи – изучить степень влияния спортивных и культурных мероприятий на привлечение туристов и выявить взаимосвязь между привлечением туристов в регионы и организацией мероприятий. Дело в том, что в мире туристы сталкиваются с тем, что в момент поиска дестинаций для отдыха они выбирают их в зависимости от своих целей. Они представлены на данном слайде, и, как правило, турист отправляется на отдых для того, чтобы отдохнуть, либо полечиться, либо проявить интерес к культуре, к историческим, природным достопримечательностям, но помимо этого их, безусловно, привлекают и мероприятия. Такие мероприятия проводятся по всему миру, и, в частности, наверное, для всех нас известны карнавал в Рио-де-Жанейро, Октоберфест в Германии. Эти мероприятия, они действительно масштабные, ежегодно собирают большое количество людей и привлекают туристов со всего мира. В России тоже до недавнего времени определенно проводились такие мероприятия, которые улучшали что бренд страны как территории и ее имидж, что, в принципе, привлекали множество туристов как внутри регионов, так и из-за границы. Это чемпионат мира по футболу и Сочинская олимпиада. По статистике, после проведения таких мероприятий глобальных у нас в России, в регионах, в местах, где эти мероприятия принимали участие, увеличивалось количество туристов в несколько раз. Однако можно сказать о том, что сейчас такого рода мероприятия большие не проводятся, и заграничные дестинации, как я уже говорил ранее, закрыты. И это как раз-таки потенциал для того, чтобы развивать внутренний туризм, развивать внутренние регионы и привлекать, обмениваться, грубо говоря, туристам, этим туристическим потоком между нашими регионами. И по статистике, которую дает Ассоциация туроператоров России, в тройку наиболее востребованных городов в 2023 году вошли Санкт-Петербург, Москва и Казань. И это не мудрено, поскольку в Санкт-Петербурге действительно проводится большое количество различных мероприятий, как культурных, так и спортивных. На картинке видны наиболее такие массивные и привлекающие большое количество людей. Это, безусловно, ялы, паруса, всем нам известные, и классика на Дворцовой, и сезонные мероприятия, связанные с празднованием Дня фонтанов в Петергофе. Эти мероприятия, безусловно, привлекают большое количество туристов. И, например, только за 2022 год 8 миллионов туристов посетило Санкт-Петербург. Спортивные мероприятия также являются аттрактивным поводом для привлечения туристов, и вот московский марафон действительно является большим показателем этого, поскольку любители спорта приезжают в Москву и участвуют в нем как гости, так и жители нашей столицы. Но еще одно мероприятие, которое доказывает то, что мероприятия привлекают туристов не только в больших городах нашей страны, но еще и в регионах, о котором я хочу вам рассказать, это фестиваль научный Динотерра, который состоялся в прошлом году на Кузбассе, который побил абсолютно большие рекорды и был признан различными ассоциациями ивентов в России лучшим мероприятием, которые популяризируют территорию. За 3 дня 20 тысяч посетителей, большими хайлайтерами выступили Пушной и Пелагея, и это было первое шоу дронов, где приняли участие 250 штук. Что еще очень важно и что являлось такой отличительной чертой данного мероприятия, данного действительно события, дело в том, что в Кемеровской области, в деревне Шестаково, более 20 миллионов лет назад жили динозавры, и на этой территории достаточно недавно проводятся постоянно раскопки, и были найдены действительно скелеты этих животных. И вот эта вот отличительная черта, которая присутствует не только в Кемеровской области, но и вообще, в принципе, в нашей большой стране, в каждом практически регионе есть подобные, значит, отличительные черты, которые можно использовать как привлекающий фактор, вокруг которого можно создавать действительно такую увлекательную и интересную штуку, которая действительно доказывает и показывает, что туристы из различных регионов, в том числе и из центральной части России, приезжают, дабы приобщиться к такому празднику и узнать что-то новое. Ну и последнее, о чем я бы хотел сказать, в данном исследовании я провел социологический опрос для того, чтобы узнать, какое количество, кто у нас более мобильный, кому интересно и кто был бы готов ради спортивного или же культурного мероприятия покинуть свой город и там выбраться и поехать исключительно навестить, грубо говоря, страну, чтобы посмотреть на такое мероприятие. Я провел опрос среди 157 человек, среди которых большая часть, понятное дело, это студенты, мобильная группа, 30 человек это люди среднего возраста, 30-50 лет, которые со своими семьями и с детьми в возрасте от 6 до 12 лет, и пенсионеры. В общем-то, понятное дело, что данное исследование показало, что студенты более мобильны и готовы перебираться в другие регионы на мероприятия, они готовы посещать культурные мероприятия, но их волнует цена вопроса. Что же касается пенсионеров, то эта группа населения больше готова, значит, путешествовать на курорты и, как правило, на юга, дабы улучшить свое здоровье. И мероприятия здесь исключительно связанные с улучшением своего здоровья их интересуют. Ну а группа 30 до 50 лет, ребята здесь, группа опроса сказала о том, что они не готовы выезжать слишком далеко, поскольку я специально опрашивал людей с детьми, вот, и, для них это является тяжелым. Ну, в общем-то, благодарю за внимание. Если у вас есть какие-то вопросы, то я постараюсь на них ответить.
Есть ли вопросы к участнику конференции? Понятно, Салев Багавдинович, спасибо большое. Тема была очень актуальной. Итак, so the next member of
Спасибо
the
вам.
conference. Спасибо. The next member of the conference is Лесников Alexander with his topic Microsoft Slide or the PR failure of Connect. Нет.
Thank you. Айсула Руслановна. Can everyone see the screen? Great. Well, good day to you one and all. My name is Aysul Ruslan, as Lesnikov Alexander, and today I'm going to tell you a bit about a very interesting story that started in 2009 with Microsoft. We all know Microsoft, right? And one of the daughter companies, Xbox, which is their basically answer to the gaming industry and competition for Sony's PlayStation and Nintendo's whatever Nintendo is doing these days, the Wii or the Switch. And in 2009, what Microsoft did was basically introduce at the E3 conference, a gaming-oriented conference, a new way to control video games, basically, right, with your body. It was the Kinect. A camera that you would set up in your living room that captured your movement and translated them to an avatar on the screen, and was basically oriented at families. And we're going to talk about that a bit later, why it wasn't oriented at the people that they really needed to focus on. So the Kinect, a pretty simple thing, basically, in practice. You connect it to your Xbox, you buy the games, you move around, great fun for the whole family. But what was their plan? After introducing it at E3, Microsoft decided that going dark with the project was going to be the best thing for them. What does that mean exactly? They just stopped speaking about the Kinect. They stopped showing it and only introduced people to it at live events and expos. Their strategy was to let a certain air of magic or mystery build around the device so that people would be interested in trying it out for themselves. Another thing was media targets. And I think it's here, right? You can see a very popular person at the moment. At that moment, Selena Gomez, they attracted others. They attracted Nick Cannon, I believe, Taylor Lautner, even David Beckham, because one of the games was football-oriented, and that was the best choice that they could make. Other things were showcases and expos, which I've already talked about, and let's carry on. So at launch, they had multiple games from big studios, multiple games from big names in the industry. You can see Star Wars, you can see Sonic, which is a very big character in gaming, and you can see Skyrim, one of the most sold games in the history of gaming, basically. And now we're going to move on to the more interesting part of the story. Why was it a failure? Why was it a lie? So basically, yeah, Project Milo was one of the things that Microsoft showcased at the Expo in 2009. And we don't have enough time for a video, unfortunately, but I'm going to tell you about it in short. Basically, the thing was they showed a video where a woman was interacting with the character in game via the Kinect. She was speaking to him. He saw her gestures. He reacted to them. And the more interesting thing was she actually spoke to him. He seemed to understand her. He seemed to remember her, and he seemed to remember previous conversations. Just remember for a second, it's 2009. We don't have Siri. We don't have Google Assistant. We have Alexa. And Microsoft is showing that an in-game character can talk to a real person and understand them and know them. And at least for me, just in my personal opinion, a bit of a weird thing to show, right? A grown woman talking to a virtual child, asking them about their life. Why would it be, exciting for the average gamer? Nobody knows, unfortunately. And here's the culprit. This is Peter Molyneux, a very, very famous game designer from the 90s, who had games such as Fable, Goddess, and many, many others, who worked at Lionhead Studios at the time in 2009, and they were contracted to create Project Milo. But the thing about Peter was he's a pathological liar. He is a great game designer, yes, but he really, really loves to overpromise and underdeliver. For some reason, people didn't really learn with mistakes that he's made. And some people got very excited. Some people called him a liar, of course. Well, and Project Milo never happened. The capabilities of the device that Microsoft advertised when they launched the ad campaign for the product were that it had microphones, that it had facial recognition, movement recognition, and they didn't deliver on all of that. Only movement recognition worked semi well. And the results were pleasant, I'd call them, right? The Kinects sold really well. So in the first month, they sold so many of them, they didn't even know what to, continue with. And they thought, such a great success, why would we stop at that? And 2 or 3 years later, they've announced that there would be a continuation to the Kinect. But nobody really bought it, because the people who already had a first Kinect didn't see a reason to buy another one. Why would you? It's just, for video games. And you can see the results. And a bit about why it was actually a failure. The things after many surveys and questionnaires, after Kinect 2's failure, and were the first thing was a privacy concern. People didn't want to have a camera in their home that could record them possibly at every second, at every moment of every day. They didn't trust it enough. Another thing is, yes, I have shown you popular video game franchises, right? But the focus that Microsoft had in their target audience were families, and I believe another point were women, unmarried women. For some reason, I don't know why. Nobody actually knows why. There's no, extensive information about that. And if you want someone to be passionate about your product, why are you going to people who, historically are not really, passionate about that? You're oriented at children, yes, who will bugger their parents to buy them one, and you're oriented at unmarried women, which is strange. Why not unmarried man and unmarried women? Why not married men, married women? Didn't work out. Not at the gamers at all. They didn't care about that. They didn't release games that were interesting to the public that they are, targeting. And in conclusion to this argument, most of the games were Kinect Sports, Kinect Hockey, Kinect Football, Kinect, I don't know, water sports, right? And Just Dance, I believe, was one of the most popular titles on for the device. And that's just not the type of games that people used to play and people actually play right now. And nobody bought the second Kinect, nobody cared about it. And people just kind of forgot about it. But it was an important part of my childhood. I remember being 9 years old, Great. Come back. I remember being 9 years old and seeing that and thinking it was, real magic, and not understanding that a gigantic corporation was standing behind it and that their only goal was to, make money. And it is still sitting in a wardrobe at my flat, very dusty, I'll admit. I am not a person who is very into physical activities now, but it was a dream, and Microsoft and Mr. Millennium killed it just in cold blood. And that is the lie that Microsoft told all of us and expected us to believe them. Thank you.
That was a very informative report. Thank you, Alexander. If anybody has questions, you can ask from Alexander.
Thank you. A great presentation, by the way. I wonder, what do you think about this? If the run-up to the Connect was very questionable one, may I say, like very strange one, why do you think it sold so well in the beginning?
Thank you for your question. I'm going to try to be brief. I think the excitement about, especially if I'll return right here, going dark, basically, the excitement was palpable, right? It was in the air, you could cut it with a knife. Everybody just saw 10 to 15 seconds of gameplay and people interacting with it, and nobody knew what it was. And children, they don't really research things. They just come up to their parents and start nagging them, right, for hours and days upon days. And I think it was mostly because of that, because of the mystique that the product generated at first. So thank you for your question again.
Thank you.
If anyone else wants to ask a question, yes.
Yes, thank you for your presentation. I have a question. Can you still buy these products in shops?
Thank you for the question. Well, I am unsure. I think you could actually buy it at vintage shops or at some shady retailers, but you can buy it from me. I'll give you a discount. So I think you could find it. You could find it used, I
So
think.
it still provides some money to the companies?
No.
How is it?
The project is dead. They didn't sell any of the second generation of the Kinect, and they just swept it under the rug, just water under the bridge. Please don't think about it. Please don't talk about it. We did nothing of that sort. Just that kind of jig. And yeah.
Sasha, were there any complaints, any court suits
Any
connected with this deceit?
any court?
Court suits.
Words used.
Courts. I'm so sorry. I've been taking notice. Any courts? Well, yes. Well, Microsoft is an American company, right? And the Xbox is an American company as well. And you can't really, walk 2 steps without encountering someone who is in an active lawsuit, right? And yes, people did feel deceived, and they actually, I think 1 or 2 people went to court because of seeing Project Milo, right? Seeing the supposed capability of the Kinect to understand human speech, right? To process it. But the thing was that Microsoft at the Expo never actually said that it was going to be a game. It was a demo, right? Only a demonstration of the capabilities, supposed capabilities again, of the device that never actually came. So all court cases in this regard, I believe, were dismissed after, a quick look through by judges and officials. And yeah, thank you for the question.
So maybe there is another question for Alexander. So thank you, Alexander, again. Your presentation was actually compelling. And the next presentation is self-promoting PR campaign, which will be presented by Minkeva Sara, Elias Parigan, and Manov Isik.
So
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Khmelov Dmitry, and these are my colleagues Ilyasov Alihan and Menkeva Sara. And today our topic is self-promoting PR campaign by Ozon. So let's begin with the question. Has any one of you bought something in Ozon? Please raise your hand if you do. I see, there are so many of you. And you probably know what Ozon is and what it is about. So it's basically a platform where you can buy anything and get it delivered just to your house. Yeah, but it is more than that. And today we are going to tell you about it a little bit deeply. Firstly, we are going to to tell you about the main functions of Ozon. Then you will hear the about the brand itself and how they make this brand to look recognizable. And then we will divide the PR campaign of Ozon into the main parts, and then we will make a conclusion about it. So let's begin. And what is Ozon? First of all, Ozon is an e-commerce platform where you can buy things which are user directed. And also they make products and services for entrepreneurs and buyers all over the world, all over the country. I'm sorry. What is Ozon? They initially tried to make their brand, as you see on the slide, sincere, sociable, and friendly. They don't use any complex terms, no professional jargonisms. They aimed their PR campaign just to their potential customers and address everybody as friends. So sometimes their communication may be even bold and emotional. And now we are going to see what the brand is the system of the brand. The brand system influences the emotional perception of users, and also it influences the appearance of the brand. And now on the slide you can see logo, palette, font, and graphics which Ozon used during their PR campaign. Now my colleague Ilyasov Alihan will continue with contests and other things that Ozon did to make them recognizable.
Thank you, Dima. And now, so Ozon held several creative contests to develop competition. It is interested not only in increasing sales, but also in attracting new sellers to develop competition. And now let's see what it does for that. In 2020, Ozon held several creative contests to develop competition, and the first one was aimed at creating a limited collection of merch for the marketplace. And here is a design developed by the winner of the Ozon contest, Ozon merch. Within the framework of the second competition, Ozon provided an opportunity for self-realization to young artists. The Ozon Balloon project offers creators to come up with one of the wall, the pickup points. For example, here is how one collaboration turned out with an artist from St. Petersburg. Ozon is one of the few companies that maintains a blog on VC.ru. Here you can find the news of contests and events, stories of entrepreneurs about entering the marketplace. So the company found a new point of contact with audience, which is quite unusual. And after all, it's always possible to publish everything in social networks. And anyway, it's helped to advance such results, and this is definitely a plus. And now I'm going to give the floor to my colleague, Sara.
Thank you, Alihan.
So the support in small businesses once again confirmed that the platform is interested in the development of sellers and increasing their profits because these factors directly affect the revenue of the marketplace. And Ozon held 3 contests in support of entrepreneurs. They were identical in essence, but differed only in the prize pool. The first contest, entrepreneurs had to tell why they wanted to turn their small business into a big one. And the winner who wrote the most interesting story received 1 million rubles for the promotion of their store and also advertising from a blogger. And the second contest was launched on New Year's Eve. And here too, they had to tell a story starting with the words that you can see on the slide. And during the third contest, entrepreneurs had to tell about the success of their store on the marketplace. And winners received really good prizes like 500,000 rubles for the promotion and a blogger's post. Also, in June 2021, Ozon held a free business forum in Moscow, and the headliners were Russian and foreign entrepreneurs. And this forum was a new level forum with a light show, with photo zones with art objects, kinetic screens, and robotic arms that controlled many screens. And also the participants had the opportunity to ask questions to the speakers, and it was all free. Now I'm going to give the floor to my colleague Dima.
So let's make a conclusion. In 2023, Ozon has increased its revenue, total turnover up to the 118%, which is 373 billion rubles more than the previous year. Also, as you can see on the slide, many points which Ozon was working on has increased up to the 100%, and according to these conclusions, we may say that in 2023, Ozon became a technological and progressive marketplace, which is still going to ramp up. So if you have any questions, we are ready to answer them. Thank you for your attention.
So it's mostly about the Ozon merge. Do you think the idea with the Ozon merge was fail or not?
Well, actually, every work on how to promote your own brand is always works for you, and of course, merge has increased the number of customers which who will or who has bought anything on this marketplace. So it's definitely a plus for any brand, and Ozon is not exception.
Okay, I see your point. Thank you.
So, yes. I have a question. Why did Ozon choose to represent their brand Monica? I mean, isn't the audience a bit tired of him, and how did it affect Ozon's growth?
Yeah, well, that's an interesting question. Thank you. Well, Ozon chose Dmitry Malikov to represent them because, well, he is a well-known celebrity and he's well-known all over Russia, and because Ozon is used by various age group audience, I think Malikov was like the best option, one of the best choices, and he also is a singer, and you all probably know that Ozon launched various music clips with him. So with catchy songs, I think it was definitely a plus.
Your presentation was really compelling and visually stunning. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You may take your seats. And next speakers, Hussainova Silvia, Zavidova Alina, and Abduleva with the topic DAF, no digital distortion movement.
Hello, everyone. My colleagues Isulu and Alina and I would like to show you our presentation, Daphno Digital Distortion Movement. But before we start, I would like to ask you one question. It's a little bit touchy, but I think you need to answer it honestly. So, have you ever photoshopped your photos for social networks? Please raise your hand if you do, if you did. Because, yeah, honestly, because we did it too. We all want to be better. And, you know, sometimes we don't want facial wrinkles or pimples to ruin our photo. And here you can try it on. So with mask, it looks better, but it's not you. So beauty should ever be a source of confidence, not anxiety. And, you know, the Photoshop images we see on social media, they are not just unattainable, they are harmful too. And look what Jess Wiener, cultural expert for Dark Self-Esteem Project, said about it. So viewing unrealistic and achievable beauty images creates an unattainable goal, which leads to feelings of failure. And this is true, especially for young girls. And now let's turn to the statistics. We compare two countries, the USA and Canada. And so the latest DAF campaign is rooted in a survey that found that 80% of Canadian girls used a filter or they downloaded an app to change something in their selfies by the age of 13. And I think that you know all these apps and filters very well. For example, Face app and different Instagram masks and bold glamour mask on TikTok. Moreover, 59% of Canadian girls Photoshop their pictures because they are insecure about their bodies, and that's why they Photoshop it on regular basis. And in addition, 37% of survey respondents said that they didn't look good enough without any photo editing. And so they were pretty the same results in the US. In both countries, girls said that they would feel more confident if images on social media more accurately reflect the way they look in real life, and so they wouldn't feel judged, or they would feel just less worried about their appearance. And also girls wish that world would focus more on who they are as people and not what they look like. And that is why the study finding indicated that the girls needed some help in using social networks in positive way, you know, just not to make it more about self-expression and less about validation. And yeah, Alina, can you tell us, please, what have come up people with to ban this filter?
Yes, so people saw how harmful these filters are, and they decided to boycott them. DAF was encouraging people to turn their back on the bold glamour filter in particular, and as a part of its mission to create no digital distortion movement. The campaign was galvanizing people to turn their back and physically stand together to well, basically, as I have already mentioned, boycott this harmful form of digital distortion. The influencer-led campaign was kicking off with content creators all around different social platforms which who expressed their personal feelings on this bold glamour filter and the damage it did and maybe still doing to the social users. Bold glamour filter represents the concerning ideal of beauty, one that may seem real, even too real. In the first 7 days that the campaign launched, the hashtag has been used more than 365 million times, probably more by now. Well, during this campaign, Dove was teaming up with TikTok to promote its messaging and resources around body positivity as a part of its already existing self-esteem project. The Unilever brand that basically owns Dove has made the concept of real beauty that you can see in the slide. It's the central piece of its positioning for years. But with this campaign, No Digital Distortion movement, they decided to narrow in on the deleterious effects social media can have on mental health and self-image, especially among young women. TikTok, for its part, was trying to market its app as a more positive environment for social users. You may even have seen some memes with this filter if you use TikTok. Now, Aslu, could you tell us, please, who exactly supported this campaign?
Yeah, sure. So actually, a lot of celebrities supported this campaign. For example, the Dove did a self-esteem project, joined forces with actress Gabrielle Union to take a stand against unrealistic beauty standards, urging viewers to turn your back on the viral bold glamour filter on social medias. Moreover, this campaign is soundtracked by the song "I'm Not Pretty" by Jessia, and also a Grammy-winning artist named Lizzo became a new brand ambassador who actually worked for the campaign The Selfie Talk in order to reduce the number of people who are insecure about their bodies and to make social media a more positive, accepting, and empowering place for young women. And talking about the results, if in 2021, as you can see on the screen, 94% of girls actually wanted some changes in their appearance. By now, the number of these young women has actually significantly decreased. And the company is still planning to work on this topic in order to reduce this number. Also, if we're talking about the finances, it was actually the success was the most evident on its finances because just in 1 year, the company increased its revenues by 10%. And even nearly 20 years later, the campaign is still running with its plans to expand to the virtual world. So thank you for your attention, and we will be glad to answer your questions. So if anybody has questions, we're happy to answer. Yeah.
Thank you for the presentation. Not exactly about the movement itself, but I'm interested in your personal opinion on what do you think about this problem that women have with their appearances nowadays? Not exactly about the movement. I want to just, since the movement has to do with this no filter, basically, what do you think about this need in the changing in the appearance?
So actually, the beauty standards are changing rapidly year by year because, as we can see, more and more people use filters, or they, for example, they go to cosmetologists and do some cosmetological surgeries, and that is a big problem because people don't accept themselves and they don't accept their natural appearance. And even if we're talking about this campaign, a lot of young women actually use filters and they start believing that they look this way. And if accidentally they see a picture of themselves which is taken by somebody else, they feel sad about their bodies or about their facial appearance. So that's why I guess this is a big psychological problem, and it needs these women need help, and they need to accept their bodies and appearance.
Thank you.
At the same time, people have come to refusing from this unnatural but perfect beauty. What do you think the reasons are?
Well, first of all, it is an era of social medias, and for people, it's important to have some audience, and people are actually attracted to beautiful people. So these people who work for social media, they started competing between them, with other people on social medias, like, for example, beauty bloggers or Instagrammers. And I guess that's why changing your appearance became a trend.
My question is an opposite one. You say that more and more people are nowadays refusing from this perfect beauty in favor of the natural one. What are the reasons?
I'm sorry if I'm interrupting. I think that they're just really tired of the pressure that they are under, because for a lot of years, a lot of women were, under the propaganda that you have to have a perfect nose, you have to have big eyes or perfect hair. So I think that such movements like this one was created because of the idea that I am, as a woman, I am tired to I'm tired of trying to fit in the society by some standards that somebody created, and I want to enjoy my natural beauty, and I don't want to change myself. I think, yeah, that's the point.
Kind of refusal to oneself.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. So the next speakers are Motalibi Saidahaba and Olive Ruslan with a very interesting topic, Burger King and their PR campaigns.
Thank you. See you, everybody. I hope you're having a great conference thus far. And today we're here to add a little spice with our presentation, Burger King and their aggressive PR. First of all, I'm curious, if any of you eat fast food, maybe weekly, daily, please raise your hand. Oh, quite a lot of us actually. Then I'm sure this presentation will be more interesting to you, because I'm sure at least one of you came upon one of these ads. So let's start with that. So the PR, what's the purpose of PR in any company? Is to build this reputation of being trustworthy, sympathetic, some of them honorable and kind. But what happens when a company does a 180 and presents itself as bold, aggressive, and even somewhat of a bully in its marketing? Well, we're here to learn about this while studying Burger King. Please, my colleague, Sayed Khao, by the way.
Presentation divided into 4 main parts. Firstly, we will start with the roots of the company, and second, we'll discuss about how appeal to aggressive, and then how advertisements affect the company. Burger King started at 1953 in Miami by David Lachmare and James Edgar Jones.
James Michael Moore.
And then in 1963, expanded in the whole of United States. And its main rival for the Burger King was McDonald's, and the Burger King created with its product Whopper, because all the product of McDonald's was small, and that's why Burger King use Whopper in spite of McDonald's.
That's correct. So basically, with that in mind, the PR strategy was put at its feet. But unfortunately for Burger King, it didn't help that much because McDonald's was still people's choice. In one study in 2019 by WPP and Kantar, McDonald's brand value is worth 18 times more than Burger King's. And also, McDonald's has more widespread presence by having more restaurants in its chain. So even though they were at a disadvantage on paper, Burger King used these, I would call it the lack of presence, by choosing this very interesting marketing by being, I would say, a bully, maybe roasting McDonald's and its other competitors with other commercials in mind. And with that, let's get into what is aggressive marketing and what are their virtues and maybe what are their disadvantages. So aggressive marketing, as you can tell by the name, is a specific way of marketing something that the person who does the advertising doesn't have any moral principles, maybe doesn't hold any traditions. These kinds of advertising can be somewhat frightening, maybe offensive to some people, but you can admit that they're not memorable. They're very effective at sticking in our minds. So to put in simple terms, aggressive marketing uses tactics and methods of promotion that stand out and have no moral restrictions. Hava, please.
There are some pros and cons, and I will start with pros. It can create an emotional atmosphere, because if you can it can create an instant emotion. If you can attract people to your product, you can extend there all over the world, and it doesn't require much more effort from the company, because they just need you promote in internet or in billboard, and then it will make people talk about you and talk about your product. And also there are some cons. For some people, these kinds of advertisements are clearly and infuriating, and in some countries, these kind of advertisements are forbidden, like in Russia. And nowadays, it's harder to put people in a shock. That's why a bit difficult. You need to use a specific way to attract people.
And with that in mind, let's get back to Burger King for a second there. Burger King uses a blend of very interesting and overall creative marketing campaigns. For example, on the one you can see on the screen, during I believe the Halloween of 2017, Burger King had a campaign called "Come as a Clown, Eat Like a King," where for one night, every person who came dressed as a clown was offered a free Whopper. That one night increased their sales by 15% worldwide. Though it still has a double meaning, doesn't it?
However, there is a more unique one. McDonald's said the Burger King claim why serve food with a clown, why you can dine with a king.
Why eat with a clown?
Eat with a clown, why you can dine with a king. And McDonald's didn't eat this up and came back to eat by a king or eat as a king.
So
By a king or served as a king. but you may feel this taking jobs McDonald's is too much, but there are some more bold advertisements from Burger King because Burger King added its advertise in Brexit bus in UK, and it used the Brexit event for advertisement, even though it was a serious event. While Burger King isn't the first corporation to publicly choose sides on a political issue, it may be first to create a campaign looking one.
Also, you may think that these kinds of advertisements only work outside in Europe, perhaps in Asia. No, some of them are actually in Russia, and some of them are so harsh, in fact, that I don't think that we are allowed to show them on our slides. So one of them you can see on the screen. It was put in St. Petersburg. Get acquainted with it? Okay. So after all of this, there's only one question remained that needs to be answered. Was it worth it? Well, I wouldn't say really, because although the Burger King's marketing campaigns were praised and even called genius by some people, it didn't help much with their sales because of mostly problems with franchising, and nowadays the fast food industry is quite saturated. If I was to say that myself. While ironically, McDonald's has the biggest share of overall revenue among all fast food chains. The Burger King is still at 7th place, which is quite respected. It goes after McDonald's, Subway, Starbucks, KFC, Domino's, and Pizza Hut. But I want to finish on a positive note. There are numerous studies done about their marketing campaigns. There are numerous news articles, some of them not positive, but at least people talk about you. And on that note, I would like to finish our presentation. If you happen to have any questions, feel free. Yeah.
Do you think that such aggressive marketing can damage the reputation of the company? Are there more advantages or disadvantages to aggressive marketing?
Good question. Well, the disadvantages and the advantages of aggressive marketing were told in our presentation, so I don't want to go in detail on that. But yes, I don't think it can necessarily damage the brand. It depends on people. Like, I certainly believe that you are offended if you choose to be offended. It depends on how you view this particular ad. For example, but some of them, yes, go to extremes, like the one on the Brexit, which was a very serious political issue. It depends on how you look at things. Some advertisements, yes, I personally see it, and I'm like, really? You don't know how to react to it. So generally, I don't think that's a negative emotional response. But yeah, some of them, the ones that go extreme, really go extreme. Anyone else? Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
I'm sorry.
Would it be interesting for you to try yourself in an aggressive marketing?
That's a fun question. Well, if I take myself, if you talk about me personally or us as a group, I wouldn't allow myself to go this way, because I think it's very hard on your reputation in general, because, well, your name isn't like slapped on the cover of any advertising, but I have it's a personal thing, but I have this, it will be very pressure. It builds a lot of pressure to put out an ad like that, especially if I was to see that my ad was a part of some news article and they don't praise it, I would go insane. So yeah, even though it could be fun, but it's a hard bargain. You
So thank you, Ruslan and Nava, for your amazing and delicious presentation. Now I'm very hungry, actually. And next speakers are Paveleva Maria and Rustamova Valeria. They will report about Yandex Market.
So hello everyone, my name is Valeria Arustamova and this is Maria Paveleva, and now we're going to tell you about Yandex Market and its rapid popularity takeoff in Russia. So if you have any questions, we will be pleased to answer them at the end of our presentation. So, and listen to us carefully, because at the end of our presentation, we will ask you some questions and give you some prizes.
Yes.
So let's start.
So Yandex is a world-famous search engine developed by Russian specialists, and it is one of the largest search engines in the world for large-scale processing of search queries. So, dear audience, I have a question to you. What projects or services or applications of Yandex do you know?
The taxi.
Yes.
Yandex Market.
Yes. Yes.
Yandex Lab. Music. Yandex. Also, you add to city.
Yandex Travel.
Okay, right.
Great. Thank you very much for your answers. You're right. Yandex is a huge company, and based on its search engine, there is not also a search engine, but also such services like Yandex Maps, Yandex Health, Yandex Metro, and so on.
And today we're going to tell you exactly about Yandex Market. Yandex Market is a popular online service that helps customers to choose and buy products from a variety of online stores. The company was created in 2000, and during its existence, it has released a lot of different ads, each of which was unique and memorable. So, the next slide. Yandex Market team takes an unusual approach to create every advertisement, and so that viewers not only can remember the advertisement, but also become a user of their service. So unique ideas, memorable heroes, humor, and surprise is all about Yandex Market. So Yandex Market uses a lot of advertising tools, as you can see on the slide, and we will talk about them right now.
So the next tool Yandex uses in its PR campaign is search engine advertising. Having written Parmalat cream in the search, it was Yandex Market who was the first to appear in the list. So that's way they attract more customers because people tend to click on the first link in their search.
So the next one is pop-up advertising. Pop-up advertising is a good tool that Yandex Market uses a lot. So when we visit various sites on the internet, there is Yandex Market that appears on the website, and Yandex Market actively uses this tool. When visiting a website related to a review of phones, we now have an advertisement of Yandex Market that actually increases brand awareness of Yandex Market.
So the next tool that Yandex uses is loyalty system. So Yandex Market is experiencing active growth now, and this is evidenced by an ever-increasing customer base and increase in orders. So Yandex, this is facilitated by Yandex Market artificial intelligence that tries to predict the desires of customers and then to provide them with a discount on their next purchase. So that thing is what sets them apart from their competitors.
So television advertising is one of the main tools that Yandex Market uses in its PR campaign. So Yandex Market advertises various types of goods from food to furniture, and Yandex Market is distinguished by bright colors like yellow and black, as we know, and that makes people associate yellow and black with Yandex Market. So For example, the first thing that Yandex Market does is releasing its ads to particular events. So, for example, this ad is about a big school sale, and it was released on the 1st of September and offers people to purchase school supplies on Yandex Market.
So, and this ad was released to New Year, inviting people to buy New Year's gifts on the Yandex Market. And also this ad features a well-known motif from the film Ghostbusters, but with adapted text.
Also, Yandex Market provides people with great economic opportunities. So when people buy some products on Yandex Market, they can, so they buy products, of course, paying by paying only a quarter of the amount. So, and the rest can be paid later. So Yandex Market gave it the name splitовать. So the fact is that people can receive the product immediately and then pay for it later. So, and also this ad is based on an early popular ad about a Tide laundry detergent.
Also, Yandex Market makes an accent on the quality of their products and on the opportunity to choose the products according to the reviews that other people write on Yandex Market. So this ad focuses exactly on this ad, on this fact.
Mm-hmm. And the next ad we're going to watch together right now. So memorability and catchiness is their highlight. So Yandex Market, so this particularly this ad attracts people's attention and causes irritation that makes this ad so attractive and memorable. Here again, the emphasis is on that people can buy products and goods in installments, and also Yandex Market became one of the first marketplaces in Russia where you can buy products from IKEA, so which left Russia, as we know. Sorry.
So as you may have noticed, commercials were filmed with the participation of famous actors, singers, and presenters like Basta and Andrei Malakov. So Yandex Market choose the actors not only according to their popularity, but also on compliance with the values and image of the company. For example, Basta is a father and he has 2 daughters. So for example, the ad about preparing for school was really relevant for him. So that's why Yandex Market always try to focus on the needs of their customers. And also, as you can see, Yandex Market used a lot of tools in its PR campaign, such as TV, pop-up, and search advertising, and also loyalty system. So Yandex Market advertising differs from others, from their competitors by colorful advertising, so dominant yellow and black shades, also involvement of famous actors, and focusing on customer needs, and the last one but not the least, obsessiveness, because wherever we look, we can see the ads of Yandex Market on the different websites, on TV, and on social nets. So thank you very much for your attention.
And now, so let's check your attention. The first question is, what promotion tools did Yandex Market use, and which one, in your opinion, is the most effective? Who wants to answer?
Please. As I remember, pop-up advertising.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What else? Someone remembers?
Okay, search advertising, pop-up advertising, then advertising on TV and internet, and also loyalty system.
Yes, you're right. Thank you.
That the advertising on the internet is the most effective.
Okay, that's right. Let's check your answer. And that is correct. Thank you.
Yes, you're right. Thank you. And your answer was really wide and informative. So that's why we're going to give you a little present.
Connected with Yandex Market, of course.
Thank you very much.
And the second question to us. So what is special about Yandex Market advertising videos?
Can I answer?
Yes.
They're quite catchy, they're hilarious at the same time. So I guess they're like a ball throwing in your face, like that you can remember.
Maybe it's about colors.
Yeah.
That people associate black and yellow with Yandex Market. Sorry, this one is correct. Okay, thank you.
Thank you too. And you also get a little bit something.
Okay, that's it. If you have any questions, we'll be pleased to answer them. Okay.
So are there any disadvantages in Yandex Market for you and why?
Disadvantages?
Disadvantages.
So, in my opinion,
As per user.
so as for me, no. So for me, there is an advantage that I have. So I live close to Valviris and Ozon. So the places where you can receive the products, and that's why I can use more. For example, these marketplaces. But Yandex Market is also a popular online service, and on Yandex Market, the prices are really low in some places sometimes. Thank you for your question.
Overtake other big players in the market like Valviris, Ozon.
So Yandex, it didn't actually, because so Valviris and Ozon, for example, are still the most popular online services, as we know. But Yandex Market is a company that was launched not so long ago. And I think that it has potential to overtake other marketplaces. But now it's a good, I think, success, because it's successful really because there are some other companies that were launched not so long ago, but they are not as successful as Yandex Market is.
Thank you, girls. You really know how to hold audience's attention, and your presentation was very bright and beautiful. And our next speakers are Krylova Sofia and Sinyak Darya. With the talk, and they're gonna talk about Tinkov's PR strategies.
Hello everyone, my name is Darya and this is my colleague Sofia. Today we're going to talk about PR activities of the bank Tinkov. Let's start with the content of our presentation. We will start with the small introduction where I will tell you about the features of the bank and about the bank itself. And then we will talk about promotion channel. And we also are going to show you the example of the special educational project made by Tinkov. At the end of the presentation, we will be happy to answer your questions if you will have them. I think you know that Tinkov Bank has gained a lot of popularity nowadays. I'm sure that there are a lot of people who are using Tinkov Bank. You can raise your hands if you use it well. I think it's about 50% of the audience, and that's the good result. And that's why the Tinkov Bank is the world's most largest online bank by the number of customers. The bank headquarters are located in Moscow, and I think you know that the founder is Oleg Tinkov. The main feature of the bank is that it is fully online bank. It doesn't have any branches, and that's an interesting feature, I think. The bank also widely uses automation systems for helping the customers to protect the customers from the fraudsters. They also use a lot of new technologies for processing big data. For example, they use the information from the social networks to predict the risks of debt repayments. Sophie.
Yeah, so let's talk about the methods of promotion. So Tinkoff Bank uses various channels of promotion and to attract new customers and of course to retain the existing ones. So the first one and the most popular, I guess, is called Tinkoff Journal. So it's a journal that it's a publication about money and life, which is read by 17 million people per month. And it basically helps people to live better in matters related primarily to money, and also they touch upon everyday topics, and also they write about businesses, investments, finances, and translate legal language into a simple one, and explain how these topics will personally affect you. So the materials themes also depend on the current agenda. For example, during the coronavirus pandemic, there were many topics related to crisis in various spheres, as well as everyday topics. For example, they launched a publication about which virtual museum to visit during quarantine and listed 15 examples.
The next tool used by Tinkoff during their promotion is partner materials. For example, in 2022, they collaborated with the Tretyakov Gallery, and all the customers could create their own design of the card using the famous paintings. And they also made a donation which went to Tretyakov's gallery.
Yeah, so the referral marketing. So it's a known fact that we tend to trust recommendations from our family members, friends, or even bloggers and influencers. So the thing is that referral marketing leverages the power of personal recommendations. And Tinkoff included many of the products in this program, from investments to credit cards. And additionally, the company actively engages bloggers and influencers to promote their product and services. For example, in Instagram, the bloggers provide a special link to their audience, and they by that they offer better terms for obtaining a bank card, for example. And the most popular example is increased cashback.
Then in 2019, they also used such method of promotion like YouTube show. They launched a show which was called Money Never Sleeps, where the influencers and other financial professionals were discussing interesting things about financial market. And at the same year, they launched a podcast, first podcast about investment in Russia, where the professionals also are discussing the interesting facts about financial markets, and these both tools help the Tinkoff Bank to attract new customers and to provide the information for the existing ones.
Yeah. So, and we'll talk about the special project by Tinkoff. So in January 2023, Tinkoff with Segmento is a Russian marketing advertisement company. They launched a project called Financial Literacy, and they created comprehensive video advertising with 4 ambassadors, Polya from the village, the Kukayaki family, Leonid Slutsky, and Rosa Khairulina.
when users click on the ad, they are directed to a special landing page where they can watch the rest of the videos with other ambassadors, sign up for a free financial literacy course from Tinkoff Journal, and also obtain any service by Tinkoff, such as Tinkoff Black Card, Tinkoff Mobile, and Junior Card, etc. Well, and the last but not least, and to tell the truth, my favorite way of promotion, Tinkoff used a Tamagotchi game in their application to promote their credit cards. The aim of this game was to feed the toad, to help it to do groceries, to play with it, and to earn money for playing mini games. And at the same time, Tinkoff Bank was drawing 1 million rubles. So this campaign was quite successful and, I think, interesting and innovative. So in conclusion, we covered all the promotion channels which were used by Tinkoff, and also talked about special educational projects which helped the customers to stay educated and to be financial literacy literate. And if you have any questions, we are happy to answer. You are welcome.
Well, we all know that the bank has relatively recently changed its owner. Has this fact somehow influenced the conception of the PR approach and the image of the bank on the whole?
I think yes, because Oleg Tinkoff was he used quite aggressive methods of promotion. He was using their own brand. He was like a brand. And somehow he got troubles with other companies, and it was like hype around him. So now I think they will be using more organic ways of promotion. So we will see.
Thank you.
What do you think about the lack of ATMs of Tinkoff? There's no possibility.
Like personally, I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
well, sometimes it can be uncomfortable, let's say, because when you want to withdraw money, it causes problems. But on the other hand, I guess that's the feature of the bank. They are trying to keep the image they have, like only online bank and stuff, without any branches, like real ones. So yeah, I guess as a user, sometimes it may cause problems, but in general, it's not that big.
Thank you, girls. I really enjoyed your presentation design and the way you performed. And you may take your seat. And next speakers are Alyamova Valeria and Baslandova Kamila. And we will be talking about the 7 airlines.
My name is Valeria Alyamova, and my colleague today is Kamila Aslanova. And we are going to tell you about S7 Airlines and specifically how to increase brand awareness as the largest airline in Russia. Firstly, we will examine the company's background, then explore its company strategies and analyze the success of its first campaign, and conclude with continued efforts to solidify its position as a leading airline in Russia. So, Siberia is the original name of the air carrier. It was founded in 1992 and as a state-owned enterprise, and in this status it existed only for 2 years. In 1994, it passed into ownership of the private shareholders. And in 2001, the air carrier performed over 15,000 flights, and more than 2 million people used its services. Such rapid takeoff made it immediately a main competitor to the national air carrier, Airflot. And in 2005, the company changed its name into S7 Airlines. While there are no indications in the S7 airline logo about the topic airline, we still can mention something about the industry. The number 7 is placed a little higher than the letter S, while the letter S has an unusual shape at its lower end. This makes an upward movement, which symbolizes a plane going up. What about the color palette? It consists of gray, white, and lime green. This makes the badge stand out in the list of its competitors. And white, gray here represents quality and stability. White stands for professionalism and trustworthiness, and lime green represents progressiveness and development. The brand's mission is to encourage people to discover their own way, to happiness. The brand's values are creative approach, determination to change, desire to inspire, and freedom of choice. The company's priorities are environmental protection and climate change, caring for society and employees, operational sustainability, and responsible management. What about the environmental protection? Company tries to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, responsible consumption of resources and waste management, and creating partnerships on climate change. In 2020, the company abandoned the paper pressing board, and about 17% of usable items started to be made of recycled materials, for example, blankets. And in 2021, the company performed its first biofuel flight. What about caring for employees and society? S7 Group tries to provide flexible, comfortable, and safe working conditions. There is no discrimination in S7 Airline, including on the basis of gender. According in 2020, the company entered the top 50 best employers in Russia, according to Forbes, and to the top 25 best companies in Russia, according to Forbes Women. And company has its external social initiatives, like regular charity events. They organize free flights for veterans and their accompanying persons on the eve of Victory Day. And in 2020, they launched a program, Doctors on Board, which includes privileges for medical workers. And also in 2020, they launched another program for travelers with pets. Since 2020, every traveler can take their pet on a boat by placing a container on a chair next to them, which caused a delight among travelers with pets. And the adaptability and reliability of S7 Group business is based on principles of self-organization and mutually beneficial cooperation. And now my colleague Kamila Zlanova will tell you about the main ways of promotion.
S7 Airlines use various methods to promote its brand and attract new customers. They use traditional advertising channels such as television, print media, billboards, and radio. They also maintain a strong online presence through their website and social media platforms. They sponsor different events and go into partnerships with various companies. S7 Airlines has a loyalty program that offers exclusive benefits for its frequent customers, and also they have different sales promotions to attract new customers. Now I'd like to tell you about one of their largest campaigns called Visit the Earth. The campaign is aimed at increasing sales, brand awareness, and interest in various journeys, at supporting ecotourism, and at establishing an emotional connection with their customers. Visit the Earth is the first show that was created specifically for aliens. It is a comic series that talks about all the best things that are possible to see, try, and experience on our planet. The show consists of 6 episodes that were released on their YouTube channel. The topics are nature, food, love, parties, sport, and art. Later, this unusual guide was sent into space in coded format. S7 Airlines used a radio signal to send it in the direction of a potentially habitable exoplanet, and they say that it will reach its destination only in 20 years. So talking about the results, the campaign was highly successful. It resonated with the audience, received positive feedback, and contributed to a significant boost in the airline's reputation. To conclude, we would like to underline that the key to S7 Airlines' success is a combination of effective branding strategies, high-quality services, impactful advertising campaigns, and innovative ideas. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, we are ready to answer them. Does anyone have a question? Yeah.
Thank you for the presentation. Have you personally used any planes of this particular airline?
I used this once, and I can say that it's quite a good service.
In comparison or overall?
In comparison.
Thank you.
Maybe anyone else wants to ask a question? Okay, thank you for your interesting report. It was really informative for us. And thank you. You can take it. And our last presenters for today's conference are Sukin Dmitry and Konofenko Alexei. They will be talking about Spice promotion strategies.
Thank you. Well, hello everyone, my name is Alexei and this is Dmitry, and today we will tell you about Old Spice advertising strategies, or how a brand can bring the heat. And now, Dmitry, please describe the plan of our presentation.
So we will tell you about what is this brand and how the Old Spice came to the well-known advertising. We will have a look inside the advertising strategies of Old Spice. We will see what did their campaigns work out and what didn't. And we will have a look at the results of the campaign and trace it down to these days to find where did Old Spice go.
All right, and to start, we have a question for you. What do you feel, what do you think about when you hear the name Old Spice?
And cosmetics.
Mm-hmm. What else?
Power.
Yes, power, of course. Well, pretty the same. And how many of you knows how it all started? Well, for some of us, it's the only way to start the day. But where did this iconic brand come from? Well, the first Old Spice product was actually the women's fragrance called Early American Old Spice, and it debuted in 1937. The Old Spice for men followed quickly a year later. In 1938, the launch of Old Spice for men. Products such as shaving gel and shaving cream, aftershave, and from the very beginning, Old Spice was marketed as the luxurious product for successful people. And the commercials from this period of time was full of images of a successful businessman near the yacht and ships, and the tagline for the man who commands success. In 1953, Procter & Gamble bought Old Spice from its owner, Charlton Incorporated, and quickly set about expanding the product line. The 1970s, brought more new products like shower gel, shampoo, deodorant, of course, and the commercials continued to be successful businessmen, and they were in sports cars with women nearby, of course, using the Old Spice products. And the brand continued to be popular in 80s, 90s, but everyone got used to it and even got bored. The popularity of the brand started decreasing until 2010s, when the brand recaptured its former glory. And what happened this year, Dmitry will tell you just now.
So the year saw the debut of The Man Your Man Could Smell Like, an advertising campaign that featured an actor, Isaiah Mustafa, as a ladies' man who uses Old Spice products. So the commercial was an instant hit, going viral on social media and making oldspice.com one of the most visited and popular websites on the internet. We should have a look inside the advertising strategies of Old Spice to understand how did it happen. So initially, the archetype of a gentle ladies' man was chosen. His role was played by Isaiah Mustafa, a former football player and later an actor. So in the first video, he portrayed stereotypically images attractive to women. A sporty man in the shower, then he is on a yacht with two tickets on your favorite movie, and then which then turn into the diamonds, and he turns out to be on a horse, and this this is how a man should be. Advertising hits two audiences, male and female, at the same time. And for men, it is presented as a value that with deodorant, he will find a success with women. And for women, it's demonstrated that their lover will become after what their lover will become after using deodorant. So the stereotype is depicted funny and enough to got into memes and was remembered by the audience.
Yeah, and after a series of commercials, Zaya, or Isaiah as we used to name him, was replaced by Terry Crews. And the plots of the commercials become expressive, with lots of explosions, destructions, and muscles of Terry Crews everywhere. Such videos perform two main functions. More than two, but two main functions. First of all, pumped up Terry Crews attracted the attention of athletes, the sportsmen, and secondly, the unpredictability of plots attracted very vast range of audience, especially teenagers. After that, marketers decided to combine the strong sides of both Zai and Terry, and they started to appear both in the commercials, each presenting their own line of products, elegant for Zai and brutal for Terry Crews. Well, now let's move on, and Dmitry will tell you about PR outreach results.
So first of all, I have a question to you. Do you think that the campaign was successful? Yes. So, for example, sales of Old Spice body wash, which were already on the rise, have increased dramatically itself by 55% in 3 months. Then they grew up to 107%. However, there are 2 things that we should know about. The coverage of the internet media was comprehensive, and every blogger in their blogs writing about the campaign and the marketing and technology of Old Spice. The second thing is that the Old Spice channel on YouTube has registered over 11 million views and more than 160,000 subscribers. I have another question to you. Do you think that would a brand with a smaller budget be able to pull such of a thing? No. Yes and no, 50-50. Because, however, we shouldn't underestimate the thousands of the millions of dollars that spent by Procter and Gamble, and to ensure that people have an emotional attachment to a man's man. And Procter and Gamble could have spent twice as much, but if the creatives from the advertising agency were not too gifted, and the screenwriters would not have turned out to be so brilliant, then they would have then Procter and Gamble could have spent twice more, and the audience would have forgotten about the advertising the second after viewing. Some words about decrease of popularity. Yes, thank you. In 2021, it was decided to recall batches with Old Spice antiperspirant in the USA and Canada. In their composition was found the content of benzene, a carcinogen that poses a danger to human life. In this regard, fewer and fewer people have used this brand, and by the end of September 2023, all of Old Spice aerosol sprays that expire were seized.
Well, it's still presented on the shelves, but not so popular as it used to be. Well, that's all about how a brand can bring the hit. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask them.
Yes.
Do you find this horseman advertisement more attractive for women or men?
Provocative question.
I think it's more attractive to women, but I can't be so sure. I think, it attracts both sides, as we said, because using the deodorant, you can become such a man on a horse, and women also want their man to look like Isaiah on a horse, so it attracts both sides, yeah.
Does anyone else have a question? Yeah. So thank you, guys.
Thank you.
The visual of the presentation was really good, and it accurately presented the whole topic. Thank you. So that's the end of our annual PR conference, which is held in People's Friendship University of Russia. I'm really happy to see you all, and I want to thank you all for being here, for being active members of the conference, and asking questions to our speakers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Слово, прежде чем мы разойдемся. Ну, во-первых, я, конечно, я не осмелюсь выразить мнение всех, но от себя лично скажу, что я получила огромное интеллектуальное и эмоциональное удовольствие от того, что я сегодня увидела. Ребята, те, кто выступали, те, кто готовили, огромные молодцы. Где бы еще я услышала столько любопытной, интересной, познавательной информации, если не здесь, благодаря вам. Все было выполнено на высоком уровне, прекрасным языком выражено, на фоне блестяще сделанных презентаций. Я вами очень довольна, я вами очень горжусь. Спасибо вам огромное. Я очень благодарю всех тех, кто был сегодня с нами здесь в качестве гостей, за ваше внимательное отношение к работе студентов. В следующем году вы будете на этом месте. И я благодарна Айсулу, вам отдельная благодарность за то, что вы это взяли все на себя, провели, организовали, реализовали. Всем большое спасибо. Теперь, если вы хотите второй курс, если вы хотите более подробно услышать мое мнение, я вас приглашаю в аудиторию 559, а первый курс я отпускаю до завтра. Да, история. Пожалуйста, наши стулья. Здесь не меньше